Hey Sharks, welcome to our first house tour. We're going to show you what the house looks like as it stands now before we do any work. So this is the side of our house and we have the garage entrance and the garden entrance. Down this path we have the lean-to roof, and this is where we will be rebuilding a greenhouse that will be accessible from the kitchen. As it stands, we'll be clearing all this junk, and you can see that there are a lot of roof repairs to consider. These windows belong to the garage and utility room. They need fixing and replacing, but that's no issue. It's this side of the roof of the summer house that we need to take the chimneys down, but that shouldn't be too hard. From this back door all the way to the end will be cleared this time around, especially all the chain link fence. I'll walk to the end of the summer house, just near the dunny, which is the outside toilet. We have this little pen that needs a clear out, but that's okay. There's only a couple of old bricks and branches still left in there, so it won't take us long. I'll head to the middle of the garden, which is split from a grapevine, and in the middle these are the fruit trees. I think one is peach and the others are apple or pears. I'm walking to the back of the garden to show you our other garden gate entrance. This is where we're looking at the back of our neighbour's house, but I'm sure we could re-render it to make it more appealing. It's been rotivated already because my father has been looking after the plot, and you'll see on the other side where he's planted the corn. Whilst I'm standing in this back corner, you can see that we have had some corn growing, and you start to get a feeling on how big the garden really is. I know from this angle it does look like a bit of a jungle, but I'm sure after 4 weeks you'll notice the difference hugely because the corn will be pulled out and some of the weeds will be pulled out as well. I'll head towards the middle vine and hopefully there's a bunch of grapes still on there that I can show you. That's if the birds haven't got them already. Ah yeah, I can see some there. That's a nice little bunch to show you. Now that I'm in the middle of the garden, next to the grapevine, I'll follow it down on my right hand side and head towards the baby peach trees at the end of the vine. This is kind of separating the front garden to where I am stood now, which is the back garden. Just behind this tree you can see a collapsed outbuilding, so I'll just walk towards it and show you a little bit around what we're going to be clearing out. So take all the tiles off, reuse the bricks and just clear all these branches and it should be fine. There's a couple of piles of branches laying around ready for the bonfire, which we'll be having over there on the ploughed field. And in the future, that's where we'll have the polytunnel. This blue shed at the end of the summer house was originally built for making wine, but we want to use this space for the gas bottles that will supply the cooker on the other side of the wall. So gas bottles in there on the right, food through the house on the left. And there's Anisha cleaning up the branches from the garden. Good one, Nish. So just a quick glance at the outbuildings on my left. This will be the log store and it'll all be cleared out before we come home. I'll turn back around, head towards the summer house and show you around. That's just like a watering trough to my right, that will eventually come down. The summer house ends there and goes all the way up to the pink house. Just past James's giant peach. That needs to come down, it's obviously ruining my chimneys and causing the leaks inside. But that'll all be done hopefully within the 4 weeks. It's a big job. You can see the garden is work in progress. But I'll take you in through the middle room of the summer house, through the French doors. And this will be the dining room. And if we turn to the right, that'll be the kitchen. And you can see the little pechka, which is a log burning cooker still plumbed in with the flue. And as we walk through into the kitchen, I'll just turn around so you get a bit more of a better perspective. So we'll be looking through into the dining room where the brick wallpaper is, and the French doors are on the left, and there'll be a doorway or the wall will come down there and the lounge will be on the other side. And it'll be all open plan, we'll be able to see. The kitchen design we have in mind is like a U-bend all the way around this edge, and the range master will be in the middle, hopefully with the extractor mounted above. On the other side will be the gas bottles with the blue shed I showed you earlier. We're hoping to bring all these ceilings down because we want to expose the joists and make it more of a farmhouse look. Same for when I step back through into the middle room. There's a doorway there that I think has just been boarded up, but we'd love to expose that before we go. So I'll exit back out of the summer house room with the French doors, which is the middle. There'll be a dining table here, and you'll be able to see the lounge on the left and kitchen on the right. And once you're in the kitchen, you'll be able to see all the way through, going into the next room where I'll take you. Oh, there's Anisha again. So I'll just walk down. All this mesh will be coming off, and you can see the roof needs fixing as well. All the gutters need replacing, but it's all work in progress. So this is at the end of the summer house, and we walk straight away into the sink basin room. This will be demolished because we need access behind it, which I'll show you in a minute. So behind the door I've just walked through is the root cellar, which is a bit full of cobwebs at the minute, so all I can do is show you a quick glance. So first room on the right of the summer house, all this needs to be cleared out. This is all possessions of the last owner, and that wall will be getting taken down, exposing the living room and the dining room in the middle and the kitchen on the other side. So from that perspective on the left, you can see we have access behind the sink station, and this is where the boot room will be, and we'll be taking down this wall, which will expose the room as the utility room. Now there'll be a staircase installed here to join both summer house and main house together, and it means we don't have to go outside to go upstairs into the sleeping quarters. And this is on the other side where the chain link window was at the beginning of the video. Step back out and you can see straight away in the ceiling in this room that we've got the leak damage from the chimneys, but it should all just be cosmetic, and we're going to try and remove all the chimneys before we go back to the UK. So that's the end of the summer house, and I'll come back outside, quick look around. That building over there we call the granny flat, where Anisha's just walking out of, and she's sorting out everything that we can upcycle. Things over there, that's like a bread oven, and that whole roof needs to be repaired because the pear tree was destroying it. That's going to be the front garden, hopefully more of a leisure garden than a food producing garden. This is where the fuse board is, and you can see just up there that all the tiles aren't flashed properly towards the main house, so we'll have to repair that and move all the electrics from the main incoming line from the street inside. That's just a window for the root cellar. All this will be repainted, and the balcony is slipped. I think it's because it's been built onto a mud wall, but it's pulled the render off, as you can see here. But with an acro and a few hours to spare, we can fix that up and repaint it, no problem. It's going to look nice. This is like a goat shed that we've seen. This all needs to come down. You can see when I put my hand on this log that with just a tug the whole thing wobbles. So instead of leaving the snakes a nice comfy home underneath the pear tree, we're going to take it down. This pear tree does need to actually come down because you can see it's too close to the power line and it's moving my ridge tiles, so that's going to be another big job, as well as James the Giant's peach. So I'll walk back towards the front main house door, and there's little red there. I'll show you a quick view from the terrace. You try and follow this wall all the way around. There's Niche. And I'll try and show you, there's a wire fence, and you can just see the back wall of the neighbour's house where I suggested that we re-render it. Just between the big peach tree branches. But it's a nice view, can't wait to see it when the tree's down and it opens up. So I'll walk into the main house. we have 3 main rooms, a little hallway. You can see above that we've got high ceilings, which is lovely, but they'll need replastering and just ensuring there's no loose tiles on top of the roof that cause the leaks. Now, this is the first bedroom on the left, and we're going to keep a lot of the furniture, and all these rugs are handmade. And you can see we've got a little collection of antique pottery up there. That's lovely. These windows are going to be replaced for UPVC, like a lot of them. And these rugs we're going to lend to our neighbour, because at the minute the room's not very weather tight, and I'm sure they'll look after them and keep them safe. A lot of the locals use some of the rugs as carpets, but we think they're too much of valuable to use them as carpets. The next room on the left is going to be the family bathroom. It was a bedroom, but we're going to change it and extend somewhere else for the second bedroom. So as I walk in, this is all the stuff from the UK we shipped over in July, and where this black trunk is, we're planning on having a freestanding bath just in front of the window. And on the right hand side we'll have the toilet, and on the left hand side we'll have the sink. And if I just walk in and turn around, this is the original bathroom, but we're going to turn that into just purely the shower room. And I'll see if I can show you inside. Some more leak damage at the top, you'll see in a second. But it's all just cosmetic. And this log burner on the left, we're hoping to restore for temporary living next year. But the ideal plan would be to take this wall down up to the same level as this door frame on the right, and replace it with a nice lintel and a glass sliding door. Another thing we're looking forward to do is, once all this is finished, these solid oak doors, it's got 100 years worth of paint on, but with some time and elbow grease we'll be able to restore these back to the natural grain. This is the last room in the main house. This is going to be a study slash cozy area, because once all this belongings have been moved and the log burner has been restored, we're going to put a doorway in the corner near the bed to give us access to the staircase which leads us down into the summer house. Looking out of the window, you can see the summer house roof butts up to the window pane. This is because the summer house was built as an extension to the main build. This obviously doesn't look great, so what we want to do is to brick up the left hand side of the window so that you can't see into the roof space. On the right hand side we will put a small fire exit window so we can still access the roof and maintain the solar panels. So that was the last room of the main house, which brings us to the end of our first ever house tour. Hey Sharks, thanks for watching today's episode. If you want to see more on how the Sharkstead develops, don't forget to check us out on social media, Instagram and Patreon. And if you want to be up to date with all the latest info, updates and progress, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and see you again soon. Bye bye.